Good Thursday morning, the Wingman Merch crew. I'm super excited to be here today to give you your Thursday dose of encouragement. Although you might be wondering a little bit when I posted the heading for this. Tough love encouragement. Is that an oxymoron? You might think so, but it's really not. It's not, because sometimes we all need a little bit of tough love, and you can still be encouraged by that. And so I'm pulling up some notes here that I made because I really wanted to make sure that in the course of my talking that I didn't miss out on the important points that I wanted to make today. We've been talking about mindset, and mindset is something that I don't think we give enough credence to. We don't give enough weight to in our lives, especially how it affects us in our merch business. And some of that has to do with past experiences. Some of that has to do with, beliefs that we have about ourselves. Some of it has to do with the hurdles that we perceive to be in front of us. So I'm going to give you just a little dose of tough love encouragement today, and as it relates to your mindset. I found a really great article that I'm actually doing, like in my Abundant Encouragement group. I'm doing we're doing an 8-day Facebook Live, just like encouragement session like this, on each of these 8 principles of mindset. And I pulled out a couple today because I think they're really important to what I want to talk about. Mindsets are habits of the mind. And what that means, of course, is that, they are there because of the second point, which they're created by experiences. So you have experiences throughout your life that shape your belief systems, and those belief systems become your mindset on certain things. Mindsets do have blind spots, though. It's like, because they're pulling from experiences. An example would be, sometimes you have like a really big experience and you remember it vividly because it had such a big impact on you. But throughout the day, we have lots and lots and lots of little experiences that, we have very powerful brains that keep this all tucked away. And even though we don't remember it, it's there. And mindsets, because they're created from experiences, there can be blind spots. There are things that we don't remember. Mindsets shape our everyday lives. It's really, I've talked about this before. I wake up every day and I say, thank you, God, for giving me another day. I do that because I want my mindset to begin on it with a grateful spirit, because I find that when I go throughout the day, if I start my day with a grateful spirit, that, any challenges that come up or pop up, it's a lot easier for me to deal with. And the last thing, mindsets can be transcended. That I really want you to pay attention to, because what that means is that you have the power to change your mindset. You are impact feeling, to know that you have that. So how I want to put that mindset together for us today, and how it relates to merch, and how I'm talking about a little bit of tough love, has to do with the mindset, or the concept of a poverty mindset. And a poverty mindset, a lot of times people think of poverty mindset and how it relates specifically to money. But that's not really what a poverty mindset means. It's when people are consciously sabotaging themselves from flowing into the energy of abundance in their life. And that abundance can be monetary. It can be just with our experiences. It can be with our happiness. It can be with how we are growing our business, in this case, our merch business. And one way that happens is that sometimes you want everything to be given to you because you believe that you're doing something wrong, that you're not smart enough, or maybe you're comparing yourself to other people. And I've talked about this before a little bit about, you never, ever, ever want to compare yourself or your business with anybody else in this group, because there's so much you don't know. It's like you don't know what their past experience is. You don't know how much time they have. You don't know what their resources are. There's just so many aspects of it that you don't know, that you really can't make a direct comparison. Even there's some luck involved there. Maybe somebody hit on a great landing zone just by accident and they got super lucky. That isn't something that happens, to just everybody walking down the street looking to do merch. And so the tough love part of this is that just recently in this group and a couple other groups that I do encouragement for, people have reached out to me and wanted help, which I'm always happy to give. But it was really more of a, and we see it in here too, actually, some tough love directly in merch, and in the Wingman merch crew. It's like, can you give me landing zones? Can you give me niches? Can you give me search terms? Can you give me what's working for you? And that comes out of frustration usually because you feel like you're doing everything that you can and doing it right. And then you see somebody post. In my case, I post out of encouragement to others, but sometimes people receive that as, oh no, I must not be doing something right. And here's the thing that I want to talk about. Here's the tough love part of it. At the very top of this Facebook page, there's a pinned post. And the very first thing it says is start here. And if you haven't done that, that's the very first thing that I want you to do as soon as you're done watching this Facebook Live, is go to that post and go to start here and read through and watch and take notes on everything that's in there. You'll want to watch it and rewatch it. I have gone through those videos multiple times and continue to go back just to refresh my mind. Because there's so much content in there and so many things that you can learn for. Ask questions. Come into the group, ask questions. If your question isn't getting answered, I'll give you a suggestion. Make sure you tag either Stephen or Nate and make sure that they actually see your post, because they're moderating a couple of different groups. They're very busy people. They're growing their own businesses. They're helping us to grow our businesses. Sometimes those posts just get missed. It's not that people don't want to answer you, they just get missed. So go ahead and make sure you tag somebody in there. Be prepared for the marathon, because merch is a marathon. It's not a sprint to success. There are the occasions where you can get lucky, hit on a landing zone that goes viral. That kind of thing can happen, but that should be the cherry on top. That shouldn't be like the meat of your business. You want to build a foundation with merch. And I can tell you that it's very, very worth it to be able to be prepared for that marathon. But if you're coming into merch looking for quick money, it's typically not going to happen. And that doesn't mean it's not worthwhile. It doesn't mean that it's not worth your time, but it's something you need to be aware of and be prepared for. There's abundance to be had here. I really dislike the saying ground floor opportunity, because you hear it so much, but the reality of where merch is right now is, I want you to just imagine if you had been one of the first Amazon FBA sellers when Amazon FBA first came out. There were a lot of things that were easy then because there were far less rules to follow and things to make hard, but there's a lot of hard stuff too, because Amazon didn't have their act together. They were still figuring it out. And so there's a lot of stuff, pain points that people had to go through in order to be able to build a business. But for those that stuck with it, now all these years later, they're reaping the benefits of having had that solid foundation at the beginning and being able to see the big picture and the big picture of abundance that was to be had. I think that's the case of merch right now. Merch is only a couple years old, and so there's lots of bugs in it yet. They're still trying to figure things out. But for those of us that take the time to build a really strong foundation here, 10 years from now, we're not going to believe the abundance and availability that we'll have, because we took the time to do it right, and we took the time to stick with it, and we took the time to expand out. Nate and Stephen talk about this a lot. We're working on building whole businesses here, not just specific to merch. That's why Stephanie has put together this awesome training on Etsy, that if you haven't seen that yet, I would really encourage you to look at that too, because that's a way that you can take your print-on-demand business and expand it out as well. And last, I want you to work really hard today on changing your mindset. If you're having a mindset of failure, if you're having a mindset of lack of belief, if you're having a mindset of why isn't this happening for me, you have the power to change that, and you can. And the best way to do that, and this is where the tough love encouragement comes in for you, the best way to do that is to dig in and do the work. Don't expect things to get handed to you. The one really great beauty of merch is that there really is very little risk factor to starting a merch business as opposed to other businesses that you can start. You don't have any inventory, you don't have any upfront costs other than, your time. If you're able to create your own designs, and if you're able to, fully understand the research of landing zones. If you don't understand those things and you don't have the funds to pay for them, you're going to have to spend the time to teach yourself. Google is your friend. YouTube is your friend. Those are places where I learned Photoshop. I didn't have a clue how to do Photoshop. In fact, for a year, I wanted to bang my head against the wall because I couldn't figure it out, and it really annoyed me. But I just stuck with it. I put my nose to the grindstone. I said, I'm going to learn this. And I went through YouTube videos after videos after videos. And now I at least have a working knowledge of Photoshop. I'll never be the most brilliant artist, but that's okay. I do enough to be able to get shirts up that our people will buy. And it at least gets me started in the right direction. And so again, the tough love encouragement on here is going to be, take the time. Don't expect everything to be handed to you. Expect that you're going to need to spend the time to learn, and that it's okay if it takes you longer to learn than you anticipated, because if you build those foundations and you get that knowledge in your head, it's going to change your mindset about yourself and what you can do. It's going to bring you further forward in your business, and you're going to be able to expand out in the way that you want to. Now, that being said, Nate and Steven, because they have really giving, generous spirits, very giving hearts, for those people that say, okay, for me, I have this amount of time, and because I have this amount of time, I don't have the time to be able to learn that, or it's maybe not my gift to be able to learn how to research landing zones. They do make available packages that you can get for landing zones, and Nate has the art form, so we do have available places that we can buy the images, the art for our t-shirts, and that's great. Just be prepared to pay for those, because what you're doing is you're paying for the ability for somebody else who has already done the work and paid for the training to be able to hand it to you. That's okay. I'm just talking about the fact that you don't want things that are just, the knowledge and time that everybody else has spent in. You don't want that to be able to just be handed to you, because you won't learn from it. One of the things that we're working really hard to do here is teach you how to fish. If we hand you the fish, if we go away, you're going to be just flopping around, not knowing what to do. And so it truly is an encouragement to you. It truly is what we want to do, what is best for you, when we tell you that you need to learn, or if you don't have the time to learn, you need to invest the resources in order to be able to purchase the things that Nate and Steven have made available for you here in the group. And so that's your bit of tough love encouragement today. The great thing about it is that you can do those things if you work on your mindset. So that's how I want to end it today. Work today on changing your mindset. Get rid of that poverty mindset. You are geared for abundance, and you have what it takes to be abundant in your merch business. What you just need to do is make the decision in your mind that you're going to change your mindset from a poverty mindset to one of abundance, and then you're going to decide for yourself which path is the best one for you. Is it a path of learning because you don't have the resources, or is it a path of, okay, I'm going to invest in these resources because I don't have the time or inclination to learn, and then use that information to take the next step forward. So I hope this has been an encouragement for you today. Like I said, I know sometimes tough love encouragement is a little bit harder to swallow, but it is still given with the same level of caring for you. That's why I'm giving tough love today. It's because I care about you, and it's because I want you to be successful, and I want you to be able to grow in your business. And I appreciate and love the culture that Nate and Steven have created in this group that is bringing out people that want to do the same thing that they do, which is to give into your business and to give into your lives in a positive way. So I hope you all have a good day, and that that this has helped in some way. Please remember to post your questions, or give your thumbs up, or you can even do the sad face and say, I didn't like this one. That's okay. You won't hurt my feelings. Hi, Susan. Actually, I just saw that. Sorry, I was looking at another note. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. I hope it is always encouraging, because that's where it's intended to be. But again, I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'm actually off to work on some of my t-shirts for today, so I can get caught up. But it was lovely to talk to you, and I look forward to seeing you all again next Thursday. Take care. Bye-bye.